Later, they sent some of the Pharisees and Herodians to Jesus to catch him in his words. They came to him and said, "Teacher, we know that you are a man of integrity. You aren't swayed by others because you pay no attention to who they are, but you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. Is it right to pay the imperial tax to Caesar or not? Should we pay or shouldn't we?" But Jesus knew their hypocrisy. "Why are you trying to trap me?" he asked. "Bring me a denarius and let me look at it." They brought the coin, and he asked them, "Whose image is this, and whose inscription?" "Caesar's," they replied. Then Jesus said to them, "Give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's." And they were amazed at him.
The Gospel according to St. Mark describes an encounter between Jesus, the Pharisees, and the supporters of Herod, who cunningly ask, "Is it lawful to pay the tax to Caesar or not?" This question is more complex than it seems, as it pertains not only to finances but, more importantly, to the definitions of loyalty and spiritual identity. Jesus does not fall into the intellectual trap and responds, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and unto God what is God's." This answer carries an important message worth considering in the context of our lives. We continually grapple with questions of loyalty and identity. The issue of taxes and civic duties remains relevant, just as questions about our spiritual identity and loyalty to God do. Is it worth paying taxes? What does God require of us? What was the Pharisees' deceit in this case? If Jesus had answered that it was lawful to pay the tax to Caesar, he would have alienated the people who were suffering under the yoke of Roman occupation. If he had said that it was not lawful, he could have been accused of rebellion against Rome. However, in his divine wisdom, Jesus provides an answer that surprises and exposes their hypocrisy. His words, "Render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's," are deeply considered and have universal significance. In today's world, we often face decisions that require us to distinguish between what belongs to Caesar, meaning the social and political system we live in, and what belongs to God. Jesus reminds us that there are different spheres and levels of responsibility. On one hand, we have obligations to our country and society. On the other, our commitments to God, who created us in His image and likeness. In the 13th chapter of the letter to the Romans, Paul writes, "Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established." This reminds us that even secular authority has its place in God's plan, though it is not the ultimate authority. Let's consider how this message applies to our times. In a world where politics often becomes a dirty game, where people try to avoid taxes or complain about high burdens, Jesus reminds us of balance. Yes, we have duties to the state, such as paying taxes and obeying the law, but our loyalty to God must come first. Render unto God what is God's. So what belongs to God? Everything. Our lives, love, trust, and faith. We are called to give God everything we have because He is the source of our existence. As Christians, we are called to civic responsibility. Paying taxes and obeying the law are our duties that help maintain social order and support the common good. In all of this, our spiritual lives and loyalty to God must remain steadfast. We cannot let earthly matters overshadow our relationship with God. Jesus' stance also teaches us about ethics and honesty in daily life. Avoiding taxes or cheating the state are actions that do not align with Christian values. We should strive to live in truth and honesty in all aspects of our lives. In conclusion, how can we embody this message in our daily lives? Start with simple steps. Be diligent in fulfilling our civic duties. Remember that they are part of our Christian witness. Regularly dedicate time to prayer, reading the scriptures, and participating in church life. Our loyalty to God should be evident in our daily choices and actions. Strive to be an example of honesty and truth in our work, family, and community. Let our lives reflect the values we profess. Remember that our true identity is rooted in God. He is our Creator and Savior. Therefore, let us give our hearts and entrust our lives to God's love and justice. Then, His teachings and mutual love will help us make wise decisions that bear witness to our faith and fidelity. May God bless us all.